You weren't the first, but you'll be the last to see inside. And something suddenly changed inside of me. It tore apart. Give me half a day just so I can say I love you. Take it all away and maybe you would say you miss me too. You are mine to remember. You are mine to remember. At first you said it was real. You said it felt right deep inside. Now you need space and time to get yourself right on in between. Give me half a day just so I can say I love you. Take it all away and maybe you would say you miss me too. You are mine to remember. You are mine to remember. Walk away. Don't walk away from me. Walk away. Don't walk away from me. Give me half a day just so I can say I love you. And take it all away and maybe you would say you miss me too. You are mine to remember. 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 Oh, you are mine to remember. You are mine.